Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a book haul video. We have about 16 books, I believe, to haul. So this is going to be fun. So let's jump on in. Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, which is the third book in the series. I did also get A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is a tiny little novella, I guess. It's only 229 pages long, so it's a quick buy. But yeah, I got these two. So this is the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, which the first book is about a girl named Feyre who accidentally kills a shapeshifter fairy, and Feyre, as a result, is hauled back to the fairy world to live out the rest of her days as punishment for killing this. The next books I have are also a series that I definitely want to get into, and that is the Bridgerton series. So this was just recently released on Netflix, the first season, based on the first book. You can tell right here by the stupid Netflix non-stickers that they do now. I love that. So I have the first four books. There are eight books. There are 8 books and a couple prequels out. I'm just trying to limit myself to buying one at a time whenever I go to a bookstore. So this series is about the Bridgerton family, which takes place in the late 1700s to early 1800s, about the 8 Bridgerton children. And it's pretty much about them finding love. Lily is in the shot, just ignore her. It's pretty much about them finding love. They go into like the season of it's pretty much like dating, like the courting season, where there's different events where the young men can court the young women, potentially end up married, lots of drama and gossip. And in this one there is a secret person called Lady Whistledown who is making a bunch of rumors about the courting season and everything that happens there. Yeah. So with this series there's 8 books because there's 8 Bridgerton children. Each book focuses on a different Bridgerton child. So like this first one is Daphne. The second one, it says down here, is Anthony. The third one is Benedict. And then the fourth one is Colin, and also Penelope, who is a character that shows up in the first few books as well. So the next one I've got is it's kind of part of a series, but each book stands on its own, and that is the Twisted Tale series. This one is Go the Distance, and this is by Jen Kalanita. This one is obviously based on Hercules. This one says, what if Meg had to become a Greek god? Which honestly, I love the idea of this already. I'm super excited to see what happens with that one. I really love these Disney retelling. The next one we got here, I wasn't sure if I was interested in this book. I was kind of on the fence about it. And then I found a signed copy, so I just had to get it. This is Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. And I found the signed copy at Books A Million. So I'm super excited about that. I love just getting some I love getting the signed copies of books. I don't know why. It's a problem. This one I don't know a ton about. Evie Thomas doesn't believe in love anymore, especially after the strangest thing occurs one otherwise ordinary afternoon. She witnesses a couple kiss and is overcome with a vision of how their romance began and how it will end. After all, even the greatest love stories end with a broken heart eventually. As Evie tries to understand why this is happening, she finds herself at La Brea Dance Studio, learning to waltz, foxtrot, and tango with a boy named X. X is all that Evie is not: adventurous, passionate, daring. His philosophy is to say yes to everything, including entering a ballroom dance competition with a girl he's only just met. Falling for X is definitely not what Evie had in mind. If her visions of heartbreak have taught her anything, it's that no one escapes love unscathed. But as she and X dance around and toward each other, Evie is forced to question all she thought she knew about life and love. In the end, is love worth the risk? So that'll be a fun little summer read. I know this has been making the rounds on some booktubers' channels, so I'm excited to get this read at some point. We do have one more series. You guys will have already seen me open this series, so I'll just go over it really briefly on here, and that is the Graceling series. I showed this in my reading vlog, opening the mail when I got them. I'm doing the Graceling along on a Frolic Through Fictions channel, so I went ahead and bought the first 3 of those. People are born with something called grace. The main character has the grace of killing, which kind of makes everyone scared of her, so she kind of gets shut out. That's kind of the most I know about the book, really. But I'm excited to jump on in and see where that series goes. This one we got is You by Caroline Kepnes. This is a thriller. There was also a series based on this book on Netflix as well. I really enjoyed that series too. It's really creepy, and I've heard that the book is even more creepy. So pretty much it's about this guy who meets a girl, and then he ends up kind of stalking her, among other things. And the book is written in the point of view of you're in his head, but as you read it, it's you did this, you did that. So it kind of makes it even more as if you're the one who's being stalked, which I think is going to give it a really creepy tone to it. So I'm really excited to jump into this. There is, I believe, 3 books now. The next book we have is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. This series has been very popular on BookTube as well. I'm really excited to jump into this one. Humanity has conquered all of things that would kill people, disease, war, hunger. So the only thing that can end life now is a scythe, and they do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. 2 apprentices who don't want to be scythes have to kind of go and learn how to kill people. That's pretty much all I know about that. I believe this one is a trilogy as well. Okay, the next one we have is Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. This one is pretty much takes place after the story of Cinderella. Now teen girls are required to appear at the annual ball where they are selected as wives by the men of the kingdom. Any girl without a suitable match is forfeit. 16-year-old Sophia would much rather marry Aaron, her childhood best friend, than parade in front of suitors. At the ball, Sophia makes the desperate decision to flee and finds herself hiding in Cinderella's mausoleum. There she meets Constance, the last known descendant of Cinderella and her stepsisters. Together they vow to bring down the king once and for all, and in the process they learn that there's more to Cinderella's story than they ever knew. I'm sure you guys have guessed by now I love a good retelling or twist or continuation of fairy tales of some kind. So this one definitely caught my intrigue when I saw it on BookTube as well. The next one we have here is Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This one is a quartet, I believe. Under the Martial Empire, defiance is met with death. Leia and her family do not challenge the Empire. They've seen what happens to those who do. Right, but when Leia's brother is arrested for treason, she's forced to make the decision. In exchange for help from rebels who promise to rescue her brother, she will risk her life to spy for them. She will risk her life to spy for them from within the Empire's greatest military academy. There, Leia meets Elias, the school's finest soldier, and secretly its most unwilling. He and Leia will soon realize that their destinies are intertwined and that their choices will change the fate of the Empire itself. I really like these white covers too. Those are really pretty. I only got the first one so far. The next one we got here is Jade City by Fonda Lee. This one I saw on BookTube as well. Sounds very interesting. For centuries, honorable Greenbone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kikon from foreign invasion. Now the war is over and a new generation vies for control of Kikon's bustling capital city. 4 siblings of the powerful Call family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. This sounds very... Hi, Gwen. Come here. Come. Hey. This one sounds very intriguing. I believe the second book is also out now, Jade War. I'm not sure how many there are supposed to be in the series as a total, but sounds like an interesting fantasy book, and I'm gonna add it to the list of books I really want to read. All right. And we got one more book. Gwen, you are very in the way. So the last book we have here is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. So the war-orphaned Rin aced the Keju, the empire-wide test to find the most talented youth to learn at the academies. She surprised everyone, test officials, the guardians who wanted to marry her off and further their criminal enterprise, and even herself. But being a dark-skinned peasant girl from the south is not easy at Seingard. I really need to look up all these names. The most elite military school in Nikon. Targeted by rival classmates for her color, poverty, and gender, Rin discovers that gods long thought dead are very much alive, and that she possesses a lethal, unearthly power and aptitude for the nearly mythical art of shamanism that could be the weapon the Empire desperately needs. While Nakara is at peace, its enemies and former occupiers, the Federation of Mugen, bides its time, and a third Poppy War is just a spark away. Rin's shamanic powers may be the only way to save her people. Yet as she discovers more about the god that has chosen her, the vengeful Phoenix, she fears that winning the war may cost her humanity. And it may already be too late. But, come here. Oh, yes, there you go.
Hey.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please give it a like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.